You send a text to a friend. An hour passes. Then 3. Nothing. You're staring at a blank smartphone, and suddenly, a cold pit of anxiety opens in your stomach. Because that anxiety feels so intense, your brain makes an automatic, instantaneous leap. It assumes that because you feel bad, the situation must be bad. They are mad at me. I've done something wrong. You've just fallen into a psychological trap called emotional reasoning. This is a cognitive distortion where we use our internal feelings as objective evidence of external reality. The formula completely bypasses logic. If you feel like a failure, you believe you are a failure. If you feel guilty, you conclude you have done something wrong, regardless of the facts. Relying on this emotion mind creates a rigged courtroom inside your head. Your feelings act as the prosecutor, the judge, and the jury, declaring you guilty without ever holding a trial. These feelings are always valid, but they are often inaccurate. They originated in our primitive brain as a survival mechanism to protect early humans from immediate physical threats. In the modern world, treating these ancient emotional reactions as facts leads to impulsive decisions, sabotaged relationships, and a state of chronic anxiety. Feelings are one source of information, but they are not absolute facts. Navigating modern life requires a mental defense mechanism. We need a way to stop the emotion mind from running the courtroom unchallenged. To prevent panic and depression from dictating our reality, we must learn the tools to actively cross-examine our own minds. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, relies on a foundational, ancient tool for this purpose: Socratic questioning. Named after the philosopher Socrates, this method emphasizes dialogue and exploration. Instead of dictating answers, Socrates used disciplined, open-ended questions to expose contradictions in people's beliefs. Modern CBT adapts this into the double-column technique. This exercise requires you to act as both the aggressive prosecutor and the logical defense attorney. First, clarify the claim. Writing down the exact negative thought in a single sentence strips its overwhelming power, locking it into the prosecutor's side. Articulating this accusation halts the panic loop and begins the objective investigation. Second, examine the evidence. You demand actual empirical proof that supports and contradicts the emotional thought. Third, seek alternatives. You brainstorm non-malicious explanations for the event, like a coworker being stressed about a deadline. The final check is the best friend test. Consider the objective, compassionate advice you'd give a friend experiencing this exact same self-doubt. This process is a form of rigorous scientific data collection. It shifts the focus from a subjective mood toward verifiable information. Systematic Socratic questioning forces the brain to process these new data points, successfully neutralizing the emotional hijack by short-circuiting the anxiety loop. In the final stage of the mental trial, you reach a logical verdict. This judgment is based strictly on the newly collected evidence, rather than the initial feeling. The clinical term for this is cognitive restructuring. It is the active replacement of a distorted emotional assumption with a balanced, realistic thought. This provides a memorable mantra for future emotional spikes. Just because you feel it doesn't mean it's true. We cannot permanently stop our brains from generating powerful, irrational emotions, nor is that the goal. Socratic questioning strips emotions of their voting power. Cross-examining your internal reactions allows you to move into the role of an active, objective judge. The long-term objective of putting your thoughts on trial is a state called psychological flexibility. A flexible mind is resilient and adaptable, able to bend under stress without snapping or breaking under the weight of a cognitive distortion. This flexibility replaces blind reactions to internal panic with intentional responses to the external world. Armed with these tools, the unanswered text message is no longer a crisis of self-worth. It is simply a neutral event waiting for real data. Mastering the interrogation of your own mind ensures that logic, not immediate fear, shapes your final response to the world.